Michelle smiled. I know. I'm not asking you to do the impossible. I'm just asking you to keep an eye on her and keep me in the loop. That I can do, I said. She gestured in the direction of the cottage. I need to get back. I'll call you if I have any more questions. I nodded, and she was gone. I went back inside. Ashley was still at the table with her tea, and Rose seemed to be having a conversation with Casey. Is there anything you need before we leave? I asked Ashley. She shook her head and glanced over at Dexter. Thank you for rescuing him. I hate the thought of him being down in that hole, wet and hungry. Right on cue, the puppy lifted his head and yawned. I leaned over to stroke his fur, and he nuzzled my hand. I think the hero in all of this is Casey, I said. The dog turned toward me at the sound of his name, and I smiled at him. I'm sorry about all the rest of it, Ashley continued. None of that is your fault, Rose said firmly. I nodded. Rose is right. Whoever the dead man is, I hope him being found brings some peace for his family. I gave Ashley her jacket back, and we said goodbye. It was raining harder, and Rose and I hurried to my SUV. I started the car and flicked on the windshield wipers. We drove in silence for a bit. I glanced over at Rose a couple of times. She was staring out the window, not really paying attention to where we were going. Why do you keep looking at me? She finally asked. I know what you're thinking, I said. Really? Rose said, her voice mild. Have you suddenly developed mind-reading abilities? I shot another quick glance in her direction. She sat with her spine straight and her hands folded neatly in her lap. In this circumstance, yes, I said.